On the night of June 17, 1462, a suffocating darkness fell over Wallachia, but this was no ordinary night. Tonight, Vlad the Impaler would attempt the impossible to destroy an empire's army with a single, devastating strike. The Ottoman Sultan Mehmed II, the man who had conquered Constantinople, had marched into Wallachia with an unstoppable force. Some historical accounts say he brought 60,000 soldiers. Others claim it was closer to 90,000. Whatever the true number, it was a storm Vlad could never hope to withstand in a conventional battle. His tiny principality was hopelessly outmatched. But Vlad had no intention of running. His plan was far darker, far more terrifying. Inside his camp, a mere 10,000 to 12,000 Wallachian warriors stood ready. Vlad addressed them, his voice a low whisper in the darkness. "Tonight, we strike as shadows. We will find the Sultan, we will kill him, and his empire will collapse with him." His men understood the grim reality of their mission. It was a suicidal gamble. But they also knew their leader. Vlad never asked his soldiers to do anything he wasn't willing to do himself. He would lead the charge personally, into the heart of the enemy camp. As midnight drew near, the Wallachians donned captured Ottoman clothing, their hands gripping weapons taken from fallen foes in previous skirmishes. They would blend in, becoming ghosts among the living, until the signal was given. Then, from the deep cover of the surrounding forests, the Wallachian cavalry surged forward. They were a silent wave of riders, their torches extinguished, their steel blades hungry for the fight. The Ottoman camp was a sprawling city of tents, stretching across the horizon. Tens of thousands of soldiers lay sleeping, completely unaware that death was only seconds away. Vlad raised his sword high with a single, explosive command. Now. The night erupted into pure chaos. The Wallachians crashed into the camp like a hurricane of death and fire. They slashed through canvas, setting tents ablaze. They cut down soldiers before they could even scramble for their weapons. In the maelstrom of confusion and terror, no one could tell friend from foe. Panicked Ottoman soldiers began attacking each other, and the fear spread like wildfire. Through it all, Vlad rode like a demon, his eyes fixed on a single objective, the Sultan's royal tent. His goal was simple and absolute: kill Mehmed II and end the invasion in an instant. Legend says he fought with such unmatched fury, cutting down every guard in his path, that even his own men were hesitant to get too close. But a cruel twist of fate would alter history. The grand tent he finally stormed belonged not to the Sultan but to one of his high-ranking viziers. The Sultan had by sheer luck been in a different part of the camp. Still, the damage was catastrophic. The Ottoman camp was broken, bleeding, and utterly terrified. As the first light of dawn painted the sky, Vlad and his surviving warriors withdrew back into the shadows of the forest, leaving behind a scene of absolute carnage. The Sultan had survived the night, but the true shock was yet to come. The next day, Mehmed's army advanced toward Vlad's capital, Târgoviște, but as they approached, the entire army ground to a halt, frozen in collective horror. Before them stood a sight from the deepest pits of hell, a forest of corpses, 20,000 impaled bodies of captured enemies, stretching for miles. Men, women, horses, and even Turkish banners were hoisted onto sharpened wooden stakes. The air was thick with the stench of death. The mighty Sultan, the conqueror of empires, turned to his commanders and whispered in disbelief, "How can we possibly defeat a man who does such things?" The invincible Ottoman army, the victors of Constantinople, turned back. They retreated from Wallachia, not because they were defeated in battle, but because they were psychologically broken. Vlad, the Impaler, had achieved the impossible. He had won not with superior numbers, but with calculated terror. Not with strength, but with fear. The night attack of 1462 became one of the most shocking and legendary battles in history. It was a terrifying moment when a small principality stood against a global superpower, and made that superpower run for its life. Thanks for watching. If you want to dive deeper into the darkest chapters of history, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this.